And joining us now is Stankomir Nicieja, Associate Professor at the University of Opole. Hello and welcome to TVP World.
Hello, morning.
So looking at President Andrzej Duda and his visit to China, what are your expectations, especially in the light of China's ambiguous position when it comes to the war in Ukraine? Do you think that Poland can influence China's stance on that in any way?
I think that this visit is a prolongation of this longer effort that we can see of China to re-engage with alienated partners in Europe and the United States. These are very timid gestures, and as we remember, Xi Jinping began his sort of diplomatic offensive by visiting Europe not so long ago, meeting with President Macron, meeting with Viktor Orban and President Vučić from Serbia. Now he's inviting President Duda, who is one of the more friendly characters in the European Union towards China. We know that this is President's third visit to that country. So we can expect continuation of this kind of goodwill gesture in our foreign policies. But behind, we have two issues, something that you mentioned before, Ukraine. And I think here President Duda has a very, very important mission, because having those good relations, he has the president's ear, and he can very, very strongly put forward Poland's position on the war in Ukraine, and may have this crucial voice in keeping President Xi from more active engagement in the war in Ukraine. That would be catastrophic for the situation of Ukraine, certainly, and of course, larger catastrophic for the relations between Poland and China. So I think I don't expect anything particular, but those the mission to re-strengthen or re-articulate Poland's position and Poland's situation, Poland's expectations in regards to China. I think this is something that we can look forward to. This is, in fact, mentioned in the official announcement of the visit from the office, that the visit has two priorities. One is Ukraine, and the other priority are the economic relations and the development of economic relations between China, People's Republic of China, and Poland. We run a substantial deficit in those relations. We buy more than 47 billion worth of goods from China, while we can only manage to sell 3.7 billion of euros worth of goods to that country. So the deficit is huge, enormous, and needs to be addressed, especially that China, in its policy, in declaration, they talk about free market, about opening borders, about globalization. But in fact, many of the products, there are a lot of limitations on importing goods into China. It's not an easy market to import to. So here, President Duda has a lot to do with regards to opening, allowing more of Polish export goods to be welcomed in China. And I see, especially after on Monday, I think they are meeting with officials, with President, with Prime Minister Li Qiang. But later on, the visit has very, very strong emphasis on economy. President visits Dalian for the World Economic Forum. He also goes to Shanghai, the business capital of China. So after first political meetings, we will have a lot to do with economy, and I hope that along the president we have also a good delegation of Polish business, and to somehow close up on the doors opened by Duda's visit to Beijing.
So China. Staying with the realm of economy, if I may say so, how can Poland address the trade imbalances while fostering mutual economic growth with China, to your mind?
We have a very delicate game to play, because we want to improve the discrepancy between this, and we should not in any way undermine the larger efforts of the European Union to stabilize and normalize the relations, to prevent, for example, European Union market from being flooded by Chinese cheap steel or Chinese electric vehicles. This is one of the most contentious points. But we can, I think, conduct, using the example of President Macron, we can conduct those tough negotiations in the background while making nice gestures and creating good atmosphere in Beijing, in Dalian, or in Shanghai during that visit. It may not be always easy, but that's what I expect from President Duda's team to try to achieve.
And finally, do you expect Poland to be able to take advantage of an issue which perhaps is not often talked about in the West in particular? Western countries, well, they have a certain problem when it comes to the relations with the global South, the traditions of colonialism. They often stand in the way. Now, Poland does not have anything like it. In fact, it was one of the first countries to recognize the new Chinese authorities following the revolution. So do you think that Poland would be able to leverage its position and become an important link between China and Europe, while at the same time not falling into a trap that Hungary seems to be falling into? So basically opening wholesale to all kinds of investments, making themselves more susceptible to Chinese influence.
We evidently may try to achieve that kind of position, as you see, but we have two major constraints: the war in Ukraine and our close alliance with the United States. We are not in direct competition with China, but of course we have to mind not destroying or undermining our much more important alliance with the United States. So that's the first one. And then we have to be larger. We are part of the European Union, so we have to pay respect to that. So it is possible to achieve that, but it needs to be a delicate game. What I expect less from our side, more from President Xi and his offers, because from what I understand, they are preparing something for some new economic initiatives, for some new attractive deals concerning our improving our trade deficit. So I'll be listening more closely to the Chinese officials, their language, their tone, and their concrete offers, because of course I expect this visit to be very high profile, with many amusing points of the program, and President Duda being greeted very, very cordially in China. But we'll see what goes beyond those gestures of friendship in concrete terms, in concrete deals.
So we're looking definitely for some concrete action coming from both leaders. Thank you so much, Stankomir Nicieja, for joining us. Professor, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Goodbye.